All right, we've been talking about U.S. markets lower. European markets, they closed lower as investors reacted to news that UK Prime Minister Theresa May is calling for an early election as she tries to garner and gain some support here behind Britain's exit from the European Union, known as Brexit. Now, with negotiations looming, there are some fears out there that divisions within the British government will actually hurt the country's ability to strike a successful deal with the EU. Watch this.
Division in Westminster will risk our ability to make a success of Brexit, and it will cause damaging uncertainty and instability to the country. So we need a general election, and we need one now.
Big surprise that she did this today. Joining me right now, Ashley Webster, along with political commentator Mark Steyn. Good to have you both here. Ashley, you're nodding your head. I mean, people thought that, you know, she would just go through the motions here, and now all of a sudden she's calling for this special election.
Yes.
What does this signify?
Well, it's a power grab. The Labour Party, the main opposition party in the UK, is in disarray. Their leader, Jeremy Corbyn, has been called on to step down numerous times. He's hung in there, refused to do it. They have a slim majority in the Parliament right now, the Conservatives, about 17 seats. One projection I saw today, if it all goes the way the Conservatives would like in this general election, they could end up with a majority of 140 seats, which in turn would make the negotiating process go a lot smoother and, you know, enable Theresa May to negotiate with the EU in a fashion, though she won't get as much opposition as she would right now.
If that's the case, then basically it's a united front that she's putting on. People are saying, we're done with the EU, we want out, and there's really no room for debate at that point.
No, and I think she just wants the seal on that. She's got a great advantage in that, as Ashley was saying, she's got basically a regionally fractured opposition. She's got the Scottish nationalists in Scotland and the pro-European Union types in London will vote for the Liberal Democrats. But it's interesting that with Trump, for example, the fear of Trump populist supporters is that the populist policies are being scuttled by elements in the administration who are deeply opposed to them. In Britain, Brexit, the populist policy of Brexit, is actually going to be put through by Theresa May, who was someone who was not an ideological Brexiteer. And I think one of the things that has changed in the last few months is that she has understood that her prime ministership depends on actually putting through a firm, clear, hard Brexit, and that this, in a sense, is what this election is about.
Are you worried at all about what it means for the economy? Do you think that it's going to be a rough road for folks in the UK?
No, I don't think it is. I think actually being tied to the European Union is basically a 1970s solution to a 1940s problem. And it's nothing to do with where the global economy is in the second decade of the 21st century. Britain is not a continental power. It's an outward-looking maritime power that trades around the globe and has had one hand tied behind its back for the last 40 years.
I think something that's interesting, to Mark's point, was that when this announcement came that Theresa May was going to make this announcement outside 10 Downing Street, sterling dived big time because there was a concern she was going to resign. When she came out and said, we're going to hold an election, they're like, fantastic. The Conservatives are going to win more seats. The economy's going to boom, and sterling took off.
Wow, it's really amazing. Such dramatic changes. All right, so your prediction, Mark?
Oh, my prediction is an increased Tory majority. I think that's a foregone conclusion. And I know Conservative parties here and elsewhere always screw things up in the course of a campaign, but even she can't blow this one. And the only question is how bad the British Labour Party does. This is the real interesting question, how badly they're damaged in this campaign.
Ashley, thank you so much. Mark, thank you so much. Good to have you all the way from the UK.